Hello, Divine Sunshiners. This is Divine Sunshine coming to you with your energy update. This probably would start off with a chat first. A lot of things that are going on as far as energies in the collective. One thing I would say, you're going in and out. You sure are wavy. Um, One thing I want to talk about is definitely this Saturday that's coming up. I will be doing my last part from my healing the inner childhood wounds session. Will be this Saturday at 11:20 Central Time. It's on rejection. Definitely make sure that you are there for that, because last time when I did hold um, one, we had a lot of healing that went in, as far as in the chat room. A lot of healing it went on. It changed things even for myself. Going in it, that I went to Kathy D, which is also a host and helping out as well with Jupiter 1111 in the chat room. And whenever we get together as us as twin flames or divine unisouls, it creates that synergy, that healing energy that really helps us to empower, like just like the light that's back there. One little match, all our little flames coming together becomes this big, bold, bright light coming in. From that energy, we are feeding off each other and creating this healing, this shifting and transformative energy that goes on within the collective that's in there. So I would say let's really come together this Saturday, go out with a bang, with this last part of the series. Also, I am having I'm gonna keep it going, although I did it for Cyber Monday, for you to get all 5 parts of the series on Divine Unisouls 11 for just $40. That's 5 parts, so you're really getting one of them for a freebie. I also added in a meditation, helping you to deal with rejection as well. I sell that separately. That's $5 if you just want that, but altogether that even includes the meditation. So I'll give you like one workbook for free, and then also the meditation for free. Otherwise, it would just be a value of like $60 for the thing. So I'll keep it for $40 until then. I can't say it enough. You have to do the work. I had pretty much went on and thought that I could do the work on my own. I've gotten readings for Sophia Charles, and she's told me even through the image reading that, okay, yeah, and told me even through her readings that it was some things, it was a void, let's put it that way, that was in there, which I've known pretty much myself. A lot of that stuff has been put there through past relationships, through parents and whatever, and trying to learn and understand how to do this twin flame journey or walk. You cannot do it unless you have done the inner work. It doesn't matter. Even through all my research when I was doing for all my series, they were saying that it didn't even matter. Even if you had a stellar childhood, it's still something through your childhood could have left the mark on you. Rather, it was either from your parents or not from your parents. It could be at school. It could be just how you was treated. Say somebody said something to you, and it leaves an indelible mark on you that you just really don't even know that it exists. Just the simplest thing takes there and kind of shatters, I call it, the psyche, and creates this crack that you just never did know that it had existed. I had one awakening where I had really one day, and I was like, you know what? My parents, I would say more one than the other, um, didn't teach me how to really forgive. I'm really working on this part right now with the divine masculine, in which I'm trying to, no, I am going to, because I said, watch your wording. Wording is everything. That's important as well. To forgive a lot of things, and I will still say things to kind of protect the relationship, the twin flame thing, but he overall, as much as I love him, and I've talked about him on this show and gushed, and his energy has showed up and been here with me as I do the readings, because I asked for him to be present so I could get the divine masculine aspect of it. And I'll talk about that too as well. That there's a lot of things that has been done and that I've seen, friends have seen him do. And then I was like, okay, this is interesting. How do I explain that when we become into union? So that's another thing that might be a hurdle or a thing that's a blockage, because I'm like, they're like, okay, now you with him, interesting. You know, and I've got to go back and kind of forgive. I have to. That's like forgiving myself. And I can understand, even with you doing the programs and all those things, this says that you have to do that. But you know what? We are spiritual beings having human experiences. Sometimes we linger on to that humanness a little bit more than the spirituality. Well, we say we're angelics or light beings or whatever kind of way you want to say it. The Palladians or galactic families or Arcturian council and reincarnated or whatever it is like that. When we came down here, we had forgotten pretty much who we truly are through life, through patterns, through programming, through whatever. And a lot of times it's kind of hard for you, you know, in this experience to kind of shake it off. His Taylor Swift says, shake it off, shake. To be doing all that really easy like that. And you're saying, but they hurt me, or but they did this really bad to me. And, you know, but at the same time I have this connection. And it's, I'm going to say, hurt so good. Yeah, like I hear the song, hurt so good. Sometimes it hurts so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should, but it hurts so good. Do. So, you know, even though you feel those things, you're pretty much saying, you know, am I suffering from, what's that thing, syndrome, like when you got somebody that's a captive, Stockholm syndrome. Thank you. Yeah, you bring that to me. Stockholm syndrome. It's like he's my captive in love, but I can't get away from it. But at the same time, it's like you're torturing me, but I'm still staying here. And part of me is like, why am I still here? And it's like, you know better what's going on here. And you have to kind of like deal with those feelings. Right now I'm at that point that it's like, okay, I can see things within my body that's manifesting and saying that, okay, I told you about the stomach and the digestive system thing, which is still showing me that, you know, I still have not learned how to deal with that information that has been given to me about with the DM and what he's done. I'm looking from a human aspect. I know it, I understand it, I've taken the program, I've done what Sophia Charles is, and I'm just being very raw and 100% and saying that I get it, I understand at the same time, but it's got to be a point as far as when has that breakthrough where you say, I got it. By gosh, let's say, Watson, dear Watson, you've got it. And I say, I got it. Okay. So again, if that's something that also is like blocking for union, that is pretty much, it's a lot of, it's some other things to childhood, but that's one hurdle. And I don't believe that I'm the only one that's in this by himself, as much as we love him, but it's something right there that says just that one little piece there. And that one piece is forgiveness. And that's funny that one of the cards, I got a new deck of cards, that was a card that was on the bottom of the deck, which was forgive. This is called Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection. Of course, anger can always be justified by then, so can forgiveness. Just depends on how much more you want from the adventure. Go for gobs, the universe. So, that's funny. I look at this, these some new ones. So it's just like it's saying it's so much. Okay, all right then. How much do you want this new adventure? Let me see. I seen something move here. How much do you want this adventure? This new start in love that's really saying what the universe wants you to have, like the best expression of God and expression coming in this form of a body. How much do you want it? You want it by globs and goo gobs the universe to bless you with, then it's like you've got to give it up. You can't just be holding on and say, but I want something else. You got to end something to begin something. And that forgiveness is one way. So I've gotten to the point that I said, you know what, you got to kind of stop playing the game and saying that you know you love, and this is where we at. This is start bubbling up. I'm thinking these energies that we have coming in with, and I feel like December the 23rd is going to be actually a time in which I know I heard somebody say on December the 26th is the starting of new energy coming in. I don't know if it's portal or whatever, in which we're going to start a newness as far as transforming. This is like the big last push to say, okay, we're going to push all this energy down there to you all from the powers that be, that's going to allow you to be able to make this transformation, just like a metamorphosis, like the butterfly. This is really a symbol that's connected with the twin flames. I felt that we are in a community, we are transforming in so many different ways. And I was thinking about, I said, let me look at community and the definition of what it means, because that's the teacher in me. It says a community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. A feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. As we are now in the community, Twin Flame community, we are now, to me, I'm seeing us almost being like the tree of life, where we're branching out. We're still coming from the root, but everybody's branching out and going into other ways. Some of them are just like the fall leaves. Some I've seen some people, and I've posted that on my community tab. Some of us is kind of like we've hit our green, and now we kind of like dying off. And it's like, okay, I don't think I want to be a part of the process, or I'm stopping and I'm transforming and becoming into something else. Some of them are going back into the matrix and doing some more work into that to kind of get some more information. Some of it's kind of like saying, you know, I'm not doing the twin flame thing anymore. I'm going to go ahead and start doing more soulmate things. And some of them, like I said, they've gotten to the point that they might just kind of fall off. I keep telling you this, and I keep kind of like pre-warning you all about this, because I feel and I get that connection. It's not intuition. It's been 3D download. I mean, beyond 5D or whatever, beyond that has, I came from dream state, has showed me that my guys have showed me that it's going to get to a point that some of the ones, the twin flames that you may be watching, they might start, all of a sudden you start looking through the channel and say, what happened? It's getting to the point that they're doing that because it's the energy is that it's now time for you to go within. I told you when I watched Amber England's channel, she has stated that you know, I feel very strongly they're going in a different direction. I had a dream, and I told you about this a couple of videos ago about that I had dreamed and I seen that I was pretty much catering to soulmates. They came to the car that was over in my childhood home, so that means in some ways me dealing with some childhood issues, getting that together some kind of way. I guess I did a reading or something, and I talked to these two couples that were white couples. It was a man and woman, skinny, young, like beyond the millenniums, but they were young. And so I was talking to them and I was helping them out, and they came and looked like later on I came up and pulled up in my car, and they came up to me like I was a superstar, and they was like, oh my God, let me just tell you what you said just really worked. Which gave me confirmation to let me know. And then I woke up from the dream that you know, I will be going on into where it's not just the twin thing, is where I will be helping other ones to be divine. So I'm almost thinking about a channel saying to be divine with divine sunshine, which is to help them out. But I've also been pulled in another direction to do a Sankofa program, which I told you all about, which is to be able to deal with the past, and how you go to Sankofa, which is an African proverb where you go to the past and you bring it to the, it's called snatch the past and bring it to the present, which is to create changes with what's going on. So you look how you can fix the past to change, because those things are still bleeding through and still happening almost at the same time simultaneously until you heal that, to stop that program that's going on in the past. So I'm really, 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 really advocate about going into the past and kind of wiping that drive or that program that's going in there and starting something new. I believe in the past lives, whichever way it comes through. If it's through your family and you kind of replaying the same things through spiritual DNA, and it's coming out and you say, oh, I think it's past lives, and maybe you might be looking through your great grandfather and you living that life and that's what they came through. If that's how you think past lives is, that's fine too. We can deal with that. And then I also believe in, even if you think it's a separate person as well, like I said, there is scientific proof out there of people doing studies where people are totally different people, and they're coming back as they might be like the child I told you on my show that was white, and that it said he remembered him being a lady who was black that died in the fire here in Chicago, at a vagrant, like people who were homeless hotel, and he could tell very vividly at a very young age as to what and who he was, what his name was, what he did, and how he died. Okay, so I don't know, and that didn't happen too long ago from when he was born. So I don't know how you would say that could be somebody through family ties, but sometimes it could go that way. So past lives and past relationships, just even in this life, I want to really work on a program in which I really will address that. And I believe that's something that really will help to make a person divine and going into the soulmates, which is those people like souls, like how we connected as a community, soul-wise, from each person. That's something that I really am passionate about and I'm working on. So right now I'm doing behind the scenes, and once I'm finished with that, I will start revealing what I am exactly doing that. So I mean, all of a sudden things started opening up. I was able to do this thing, and I was like, I'm jumping on it. They had a sale on me for me to be able to join and do this thing, and so I'm going to do it because I've been wanting to do this for going on a year. And so when I seen it, I said, "Oop, this 2020 is living the vision." Remember again that also 2020 is the year of the divine feminine. So we really get into that energy, getting into our emotions and learning how to transform it, how to live in it. This divine masculines too, or how to master it and be okay. I think about today in the classroom, I had one of my kids, they were doing something of a peer court in which they had issues with other students in there, and I had them be the justice system about what things they could do and change and do differently in their things, because I talked about the same subject over and over again. They seem like they don't get it. I said, well, maybe if your peers tell you that your actions and your behavior is not right, you know. So then I had one young lady, she was acting as the judge. And so then she was like, so the boy started crying. And so she's like, you're not a girl, you don't cry. I said, wait, let me stop. Let's not put the gender biases, the gender roles on him. I said, you know what? I said, if he feels like crying and that's the way he wants to express himself, I said, that doesn't have any kind of link to any kind of gender. Emotion is emotions. Crying is crying. It don't belong to a girl. It don't belong to a boy. It's just emotions. And so she's like, okay, well, go on ahead and feel what you feel. You know, so I'm in the classroom trying to rechange some things in my own way. And they get it. About this gender things and about emotions and how it's okay to feel is that. So going into that segues into what I had here, which is I was watching a show, and it was talking about, yesterday I was watching Sisters on is that BET or TV1? I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's BET. And so then they were talking about, the young lady was talking about her relationships and being with guys, and she's trying to ask her mom in so many words, like what, which her mom was played by Sherry Belafonte, and she was telling her about, she didn't understand why the guys she's been with, he's picking the wrong ones. The last guy, the man that he was interested in, was telling her that she was man bashing. She was, her mouth, the way she talked to the men was very disrespectful. She didn't understand. She's like, what kind of way am I talking? And he's like, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. And so he was going on, and so she's like, she really could not see that she was actually doing something wrong in the way she was talking. And that made me think about the divine feminine. I was like, sometimes we just actually don't see what it is wrong until somebody picks it out. And so the mother is telling her that, said, about the divine about men in general, that at times, men don't grow and mature as fast as the feminine, what they're saying physically or scientifically or medically, in the mindset. And so then she told her daughter, she said, let men, she said, well, what should I do into the meantime? And so she's like, well, let the men have time for them to grow up and to find themselves. And she said, well, then what do I do in the meantime? And she said, in the meantime, you go have fun. I changed what she said was to me, and I applied it to the divine masculine. Let the divine masculine find himself until they have matured and evolved, because we know that they evolve slower. And I heard something pop. He didn't like that. Divine masculine popped that thing. So I don't like that. Okay. Not even slower, but at a different rate. How about that? You like that? Because he has where he pop candles around here when he don't like things. I don't like that. So until they find themselves, you go and find yourself, which in turn, with that rainbow or that union that you have there, that energy connection that you do, it will help him while you go find yourself, which is in turn going to make him find himself at the same time. So my thing is that I'm saying that when you're doing, while the divine masculine are in these karmic or these 3D situations, we know already that we're not supposed to be paying attention to what was going on with them. But at that time, when they're in those situations, we should not be looking at it as if, oh my God, he's over in that. Oh my God, he's getting more deeper into that situation with her or with him. We should be saying, you know what, if they're expressing themselves like that, then that means that they have not found themselves. Because if they have truly found themselves, the real him or the real person will get to the point that they will say, stop, this isn't me. The situation that I'm in is not me. And all right, now at this point, I'm going to do whatever it takes in order for me to stop where I am being in this third party or this karmic situation, person, place, or thing. Because the real self, like I told you, the higher self will not allow itself to do anything that's going to self-destruct itself. So if it's really expressing itself to the highest form of who they are, they will eventually let it go, let it be, and walk and go on ahead and be where their true self really actually wants them to be. So that, when I heard that, made me kind of click the other day to say, okay, right now, every time when I see a card that reminds me of the karmics, or the third party situation that he's in, I won't say karmic, which he is a lesson that's going on. My thing is I say that that's just false evidence appearing real. That's not the real him. So, he hasn't evolved himself till he's came to his full identity, which means at the same time within me, I have not came to my full identity of who I am either in mine. So we mirror each other. I can't lay all the blame on him. And that's a lot of times we do that, and that helps to create that separation between us and our twin. So that is something that we got to kind of really keep in mind as well that's helping us with separation is the way in which we think. So that's the same thing, like even look with the little smallest things, like uh it was some things that I had to kind of like the divine master was asking me for help for something, and then I was like, no, that's mine. You got to figure out a way how you kind of get your own. I'm gonna keep on doing this for you, and you know what? And then after I thought about it, I said, wait a second, isn't that thought kind of like separation? Like that's mine, that's yours. Figure it out. And I was like, oh God, you're right. You know, you got a problem. No, we got a problem. Even the divine masculine had been pretty much been used in terms like I told you, he said us, and I was like, how you talk about this us? Did you get us some? He always teasing about customers. Did you get us some customers? Do you got you some new customers? Do we have some new customers? It's a we thing. And I like, yeah, I got it. He corrected me, said, no, I said us. Capital US, because I told you now, I done told him what I do. And so now he's accepted it. And I was like, okie dokie. So, like, I was like, okay, well, it looked like you didn't got the lesson. I ain't got the lesson. It ain't no separation. It is us, And just the little smallest things, you got to watch how you using it and creating it to be separation. Just even on these channels I'm doing the readings, I have to watch it. I said, now I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to call it my divine masculine self and my divine feminine self, because all roads lead back to me. Even when you're pointing, fingers are pointed back at you. You got one that way, but the rest of them coming my way. So it ain't no, I hear like they saying for High School Music, we're all in this together. So yeah, we all in this together. It's not just one, especially when we talk about community. It's just really, it is a us that's actually in it. So I really wanted to bring that to your attention about it being very sensitive as to how we use our words and how we thinking, because it's the littlest thing. Yeah, he over there in that problem with that third party or that karmic situation. Now we up in there. I got the same way. I got a karmic situation. Mine more so is in the form of things, family, job. He got the same thing, job and family. We both mirroring each other, So I can't sit up here and say, oh, that's him. He could do better. If I was in that situation, I would have did X, Y, and Z. Okay, there goes the separation right there. Okay, that is you. He's just in another way mirroring you. I got my right hand up. He got his left hand up. Separation, different ways of showing it, but it's an issue. I forgot what the other day we did something, and I said, I be dang if we ain't mirroring each other. What was it? Oh Lord, guys, I said, bring that to me. And it was something I was like, okay. Oh, like, okay, him on the job. So like him on the job, he had hired people coming to he had a walkthrough on his he had people come and walk on his job. He had that on, I think, earlier the week, and then I had it like at the end of the week. Like I had my walkthrough yesterday where they walked through and seen what we're doing in the classrooms. We're mirroring, in that kind of way. It's like, okay, it's like Tag, you're it, it's your turn. Okay, now I got people observing me today. Yeah, and you had it the other day, so hey, well, look like we really all in this together. Maybe that's why I titled it. We're all in this together, one by one. Do 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 do. So we all in this together. So I got another thing. I'll do the channel thing separately, but that's the fireside chat. Just for us to remember. Also coming out with the inner childhood package. Let me not forget that. Got to plug that. The playground experience. That's with 3 of us. So I kind of, it's from the Sizer G group, which is myself, Kathy D, and April Williams. That we are coming together to create this package in which we are healing, helping to evoke healing, okay, because only you can. We could just set it out there, but you the one that's got to take off the platter and say, okay, I want this for myself. The package is the playground experience is consists of an hour with Kathy D, which she's doing counseling to help you, to give you some techniques and strategies in whichever to do that. She's my David, as Sophia Charles says. That's her David who does the counseling. I have that, like I told, like one of the subscribers told me, and I can't remember her, but she did a very long thing and really would hit the nail right on the head, which is that, you know, it's always great that when you're understanding, you're doing counseling, you understand the spiritual side. And that's why I say true, because in order for you to get the total package or the holistic thing, you've got to deal with the whole thing, the psychology, the psyche of the person, the spirituality of the spirit, the soul, and the body. You got to do the whole totality package on that. Kathy D is great with that. She does a whole hour. Also with April Williams, she does a lot of energy movement things as well. She clears you up. She's also has the capability to also go on to past whatever. She goes to different things and she screens your body to see from different levels and different body parts what kind of things you're holding past hurts with. You doing also as well, so as maybe past lives things, and also just what kind of like relationships, maybe even the past or childhood hurts or things like that. And she could go through each part of your body and to detect what's energy and what feelings and emotions are being housed there. So you need her to come along there to help to detect where it is, how to heal those things, and she gives you some key points in which how to do that, to move that energy within your body, clear up your chakras, your energies, and clear that out. Especially when we're doing all this work with you, you know, you'd be surprised how, like I say about my digestive system, is housing this, saying, okay, you've been playing along with this, but you gotta really, it's time to now get rid of this feeling that you have towards the divine masculine. And it's like it's there until it's probably saying until you clear it up. And it's like, yeah, here I am. So a lot of times things like you said, my shoulder hurting, right side, you know, that's kind of connection about different things that's happening within you. Then you have me. I will give you a 30 minutes blocks and triggers, kind of go in there, pinpoint and see what are some things showing up because of your childhood wounds that's going on. So that's what Kathy D does. She does in the childhood too, seeing those things as well. She's helping you with that, because after you deal with me and you deal with April, you go for her, whichever order you want to. Maybe you already know what your hurts and childhood wounds are, so you might say, I want to go with her first and talk to her and say, these are some things I already noticed. Then you come to me or April, and I will give you also the blocks and triggers, what are the things I'm seeing this through spirit, my guides, helping you out to see what is actually popping up presently in the 3D with you. I also give you also another 30 minutes reading to let you know and seeing how's that popping up into your twin flame journey, whether it's the love or how it's affecting your twin, your counterpart, or your divine unisoul as well. Also along with that, you will get my 5 workbook series, from all the way from, that's got abandonment, it's got rejection, it's got judgment and attack, it's got I'm missing some other things, I can judgment and attacks, I'm missing several other ones. Go to my community tab, because there's so many things that I have covered about as far as in childhood wounds. Hold on a second, let me get right on to it, because I know somebody say, what? I don't know which one it is that it has that is at the top. Hurry up, hurry up. Okay, here's all. Is this all of them? Ooh, it's getting hot in here now. It's getting hot in here. Say what? I take off all my clothes. I am getting so hot. I'm going to take my clothes off. I swear by God. Woo! Most time when that happens, that mean Dad is in here. Okay, and you probably say, yep, sure is. All right, here we go. Exploitation, abandonment, attack and judgment, domination, guilt, rejection. All those things have been handled in my I have webinars. That's free. You can go to my playlist and go to that Healing Inner Child playlist. That's on there as well. And then also I give you a workbook that's the one that I use to do all my classes or my workshops. Based upon that, I give that to you along with some meditations. That's along with that. as well. So you get a lot of all this good hours upon hours of freebie stuff to help you out, and that's all for $105. So you get an hour from me, an hour from Kathy D, and a half an hour from April as well. So you know, we're there to help. And then also April is going to give you a free energy movement video, and also Kathy D is going to also throw in for free a journaling technique and activity in which that will help you as far as being able to release those childhood wounds. So we are very serious. We're getting a lot of freebies in. Like I said, I'm throwing in my $40 package for free for that, and I'm throwing in a twin flame thing reading for free. The only thing I'm concentrating is the blocks and triggers that goes into that, but you get a lot of freebies that's being in there for you all to make sure that we're helping you, set you off right for the year 2020, going way into that, because I'm keep on picking up like halfway in January, like January 16th. It's like that's the last part to kind of like get the stuff kind of in there, kind of settled, because you know a lot of times they say the way you kind of begin things is kind of like you're setting the tone for the year. So you know you want to really make sure you're setting the tone off right by getting all these energy things. And you also got Sophia Charles having her program. You get the gym. You could get the gym here. You could get the gym on her site. You could also get this part 2, which is the inner child program. I understand that Amber now England is also able to sell it as well. And so you also go over there, Sophia Charles, to get that. Those are the two things. So if you're feeling like you're stuck, and you're saying, I done did the gym, I done did the gym over and over again. He's here, so you can say almost like me. He's here, we communicate every day. I can see him at any point, but we ain't getting past it. It's some things karmically we're stuck right there. Okay, so now what's the next thing to push? Get the inner child, the inner package, the healing, the inner thing that she has, her package over there, Sophia Charles, to kind of help you to make over that hump, that one last hurdle that's helping you do that. And then along with that, while you work with that, I would say also get the playground experience, because while you're doing that, you get somebody human also contact. That's the program you're working with your own self. But see, it's nothing like, I thought I was the same thing. I got the package. I'm jamming. I'm over here doing my gym package over and over again, talking to myself. Okay, guess what? You talking to yourself, but you ain't getting no. Whoa. You talking to yourself, but you ain't seeing something float. I'm able to see the whole them anyway. But you ain't getting all the new perspective. It's just you talking to yourself. You having a conversation. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing? I watched the. It was cute. Lord, what's it? It's a short by Pixar, and it's a man that's having a chess game with himself, and it's almost like that Pixar. Oh God, that Pixar thing that I showed the kids in the classroom, and you're pretty much doing the same thing. Let me see. I can see Pixar short. Oh God. Short films. If it's short to be real quick, I know it when I see it. Please God, there's one. Jerry's Game Pixar. And this man is playing chess with himself. He going from one end. One of them wear glasses. The one don't wear the glasses, and he's talking to himself. That's how you having you pretty much having the Jerry's. It's GERI''S game, and you having a game with yourself. Something about that in the essence. It reminded me so much of my dad. I ain't going through no ugly cry up in here, but the mannerism of getting old and men maturing like that, it just reminded me of Dad so much watching it with that. I know it looked like that seeing so much that appeared, and it reminded me of Dad so much, the mannerisms, the smile and everything. So I would really say the people that did that for Pixar, though it's a cartoon, I say kudos to them, because they did an excellent job capturing all of the human traits and expressions that seniors, older, mature, seasoned people have. Did an excellent job on that. And so, my thing is just to remember that while we on this twin thing, just remember to do things that is going to create a better version of you, and whatever it is, if you don't have, I'm not even going to talk about that, because to me, all I'm doing is solidifying the negativity that's going on and saying about the money aspect. You want to make this change. It's not even for the aspect of being with your divine counterpart. It's got to the point is that you want to be whole. You have to get to the point like I have with myself. It's the things I don't like, whether you call it the shadows or the ugly part of me or the nasty part of me that shows up at places and times that I don't like that I would like to have a hold on. That's the same thing. Those things that you can't be playing Jerry's game where I'm on this side of the chess piece and you on this side, and I'm walking over to the other side and playing with myself and try to come up with the answers to what's wrong with the ugly part of me, as Avery Sunshine say. It's not going to work. It's just not. You've got to go out and seek some other things. It does not matter. And I think I'm open person, hardcore, very spiritually, open up channels and get downloads about some things. And if I'm saying I'm at the place that is much connected as I am, and like my mom say, I'm the seventh daughter, which means I come from a line of spirituality all the way from my great grandfather, who was able to see and things like that, because I seen that even in dreaming. Even my mom said that, and this is coming filtrating all the way down to generations of having this gift of being able to see. My thing is, if I'm saying that and I know how it's connected as I know I am, not believe, I know I am, to spirit and it guiding me, then my thing is, then I think maybe you need to kind of go think about getting you some help. I'm just going to put it that way. Okay. So my thing is, go to, and if you're seeking help, I really strongly say go to those who do understand about the spirituality and not looking at you kind of like, oh my God, this is interesting. I've never heard of this before. That does not help you with your walk when you're trying to open up and truly trying to find some answers. Go find you some counselors or some people that you can talk to that's actually has walked the walk, talk to talk. Okay, on that. So rather it's whatever say Erica Eastspot or the Amber or whoever, Jupiter 1111, and I can't remember the other one because I just got into her thing I seen she had on TwinFlame community. There was talk about how you could do transformation things. To me it's like channeling messages too, as well. Go to them, Tim Green, I guess, like with the Discord. I'm talking about people that I have done that has been suggested. Again, you can have somebody talk blue to your face, and this is how I know I didn't done the work, because sometimes I used to be a person to be like a people pleaser, say, okay, yeah, I'm with that. Now I open my mouth, because see, when I was younger, my mom tried to close my mouth. She said, ooh, you in that mouth, you always used to speak your mind. Now I'm just like this. You can tell me about everybody and their mama who you suggest that I go to, but until it hits me in the core that makes me say, poop, you got to make a change, and it breaks open that dam for me to do that, then, because some people you're not going to resonate with, and I don't care how much you throw them up in the face and say you got to be on them or you got to advocate them. If you ain't feeling them and something about them ain't resonating and they ain't hitting that thing on there, sometimes they could do a little bit more damage than help. And that's coming to me, and that's not from intuition. It just said that. It said you can do more damage than help. So my thing is, it's okay to a certain point that you kind of pushing to advocate others. I heard the thing, Archangel, thank you, Archangel Raphael sanctioned that. I got a beep. The thing beeped over here. To do that, but you've got to know what's in your heart and what really is going to help motivate you and say to break open and say, I need to, as Michael Jackson said, I need to make that change. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And you can read in between the lines what I'm saying and Do whatever is your next step that you want to do. However, like I said, my Dharma is an educator and a warrior. So I'm going to speak up for things that I think that are right or unjust. And we are a community, which means we are a group that has a shared interest, common thing. We are light workers. We shine the light on ourselves, which we take that light and we shine it out on others, because we showed ourselves where the darkness is and how we got rid of that. And we take those tools and we take that light and we pass it on to them. And we say, okay, now you do it because I did it. Greater things I did and great things you would do because of me going through it, me going through these situations, these challenges, and these triumphs. Then I'm able to show you the way and be a way shower as well. So my thing is, a community means coming together. We can't be saying things at the same time that's saying we come together, but then I'm saying you do you and you do you. You got to remember, we all came in all different kind of various ways of expression. Therefore, that means that I'm going to express in different ways. My way might help and hit you and make you open up. Somebody else, they might say, that don't hit me. It's that. Just like everybody going there for McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's. Some people say, I like the Wendy's. Some people say, I can't stand Wendy's. And somebody say, I love McDonald's. And somebody say, I can't stand McDonald's. But you sure could get me if you take me to Red Robin. Okay? So, different various expressions of God. If that was not so, he would have came here and just said, okay, it's just me and it's my show. This is it. My heart is burning when he says that. It came to me on that one. So you can't say just only one has a way of expression, and that is like the only way. We are one. We express the oneness in different ways. So you can't say you're just the one and the only one. Because if that was so, it wouldn't be. Just like I said, those things. So my thing is, if we are one, we got to put our money where our mouth is. And we got to express that way. And uphold each other. And slap the hands when we have to. But at the same time, gently kind of remind people too. Okay? This may or may not be the way of expressing of this is the way we're supposed to be going. But that does not mean that they have not been gifted or have not been called or selected to express what should be happening as far as in the twin flame community. Now, it's true, there are some bogus ones out there. But the ones that's out there, some of them just maybe be a diamond in the rough. It just needs somebody to kind of polish them. But that don't mean you look at them and say, you're no good, and then throw them away. Teach them. Polish them. Make them shine like diamond. But don't tell them that they are not worth anything and then throw them away because you feel that you have been told or you are the chosen one to be telling people that they are not a diamond when they are a diamond in the rough. Not insinuating anything, just stating that we've got to remember that we are a community. And that goes for how you look at your divine masculine, because no matter how they are expressing themselves, or the divine feminine, no matter how that counterpart is expressing themselves, guess what? We are one, and they still are another expression of you. And there's no separation of that. And you can't look at them and tell them, well, you ain't divine because you ain't expressing your way. You over there in that karma situation, that third party situation. And then take them, look at them, and say, okay, you no good. Because you're not expressing the way you're supposed to. And that again, too, goes back to a separation. So again, it goes back to what? We're all in this together. Be kind to one another. Be forgiving to one another. That is unconditional love. And that is love. And that is bringing us back to our sovereign being. Not saying anything has happened. I'm just stating that. Okay? Remember, above all things, love. All right, that is it on that one. I'll come back with my channel message that it came to me a couple of days back, but I didn't have time to come. I didn't mean for this to be so long, but I felt like it needed to be stated and said. So until next time, not me. They corrected me too, saying, I see green there, said, no, the powers that be. Okay? I expressed myself. I felt like some things had to express about as far as where I am on the journey, but then also as well. So this is not intuition or awareness that's blah, blah, blah going on. Again, that's channeled as well. Because I can tell when screen changes and I see different colors, that lets me know it's not coming from me. And I get that. So that's my confirmation. So until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, be loved. Namaste, Namago.